You've developed your pieces, you've castled, now the opening is over. But the real question is, what should you do next? Many players get lost in the middle game because they don't know how to make a plan. Let me show you how to transition smoothly from the opening into the middle game. Let's look at this position. The opening is over, the pieces are already developed, and the king is in safety. But the thing is, right after the opening, it is quite difficult to create an attack on opponent's king. Because yes, our pieces are developed, but usually they are still quite passive. So the golden rule is to identify the pieces which are quite passive now and try to find for them better positions. The bishop here is playing well. The rook is on the open file. The queen and another rook are quite passive, not playing, not doing much yet. And what about the knights? This knight is controlling a lot of squares near the center, so it's good placed. And another knight cannot move almost anywhere. So we'll find for it a better position. Knight could move on e7 first, then on g6, on the king side, and then probably on f4 to control a lot of squares near the king. What about queen and rook? Queen can move on d7, then we can double the rooks on open file, and it would be much better position. So we'll start with knight in order not to block the rook, and then knight g6, and then move the queen, double the rooks. So some 6 to 7 moves, and our position is much better now. Here's another example. Let's ask ourselves, what pieces are not playing well yet? And we will see that the queen is quite passive, 2 rooks as well, the bishop is not developed yet, and actually this bishop is blocked by the knight, so it would be nice probably to move the knight also. But we'll start from our heavy pieces and the bishop which is not playing yet. So the best position for the rook would be on b file because it's semi-open file and it can have a lot of space here and attack the opponent's pawn. In fact, this move prevents from exchanging dark squared bishop because if white moves the bishop on h6 to trade these bishops, we can take, queen takes, and then rook moves on the second rank, it's very active and we won a piece. So if white wants to continue their plan to trade dark squared bishops in order to weaken the position of black king, they should defend the pawn first. b3 move could be done. But then we can develop our queen on an active position and threaten to use this pin and take the pawn, because if pawn takes, black can win the rook back and be up a piece. In order to prevent that, white has to defend the pawn one more time, bishop c2. But then we can develop our bishop and attack this pawn one more time. And again threaten to take this pawn, bishop takes, rook takes, pawn takes, queen takes the rook, and again we've traded bishops, rooks, and up a pawn. After that, we can double our rooks, or we can put our another rook on d8 or c8 in order to open the position, maybe exchange some pawns, get more space for our rooks. And after that, we can also move the knight somewhere on g4, for example, and then on e5 or d7, c5 maybe, but we should be aware of this pawn fork, so we'll be careful, but we also will make the position of our knight better, more active, and that way we will open our dark squared bishop, monster bishop. So if we do not know what to do and what plan to build, we should ask ourselves what pieces are not playing well yet and how can we improve their positions. and then we will have much stronger position on the board. Wishing you beautiful game.